Hello.
Hey, hi.
It's me this time.
Yeah, Emma, why don't you read the opening?
Read us in.
Okay. Live from the ballroom and dance floor in downtown Chicago. Show Thursday, 2 Thursdays at Business Pants. Joined as always by Emma Game Face Lurking and Matt Cheaty Mascardi. Ain't that the truth? I'm Pat Sajak. Is that bad that I don't know who that is?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. That's
I'd say
terrible.
It's good, honestly.
And why am I cheaty?
We know you cheat. Emma knows.
Cheat at what?
I know.
Life.
These
everything.
dumb game
Everything.
shows?
We
Like
know you
I'm
cut
going to
corners.
take time out of my day to cheat to win
You're
a
already
game
here.
show with you two idiots.
I've seen you bury your
100%.
cigarettes at the beach. I know what you're up to.
In today's bleachy iced tea bottle of mildew-infested nuggets called July 21st, 2022, Big Fat Fun Quizzes. Yay!
Wait, it just dawned on me. Why isn't Emma always doing this? I don't even. I
I
feel
don't know, I'm
self-conscious
good at
reading
it.
that, so I'm gonna give it to you.
Also,
Yeah,
she's
she's
write it.
way peppier than you are. Like
Oh,
your
absolutely.
reading of that would have been big fat fun quizzes.
Who's not
Like that-
way peppier than me? I mean, my
That's a good
ailing
point.
97-year-old neighbor who is hooked up to 17 oxygen tanks is way peppier than me.
Excellent point.
Hey, if I
Come
were
on,
to
everybody.
17 oxygen tanks, I think I'd be pretty happy too.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
not even 97, and she
What are
actually
we
is
doing
quite
today? We
peppier.
got quizzes, fat fun quizzes. Which
Emma
we're now
has a
fat
quiz.
shaming the
I have a
quizzes.
quiz, and Matt, you want to teach us something at the end of the show?
I'm gonna do a really quick just data drop. It's gonna be
Is
like
that,
1 minute.
Is that a coy way of pitching one of the products we're trying
I
to
just
sell?
found something cool that I thought was cool, and I just want to share it.
I'll take it.
All right.
I like it.
Let's do it. Come on.
All right.
Oh, the music's already going.
Now
Oh,
it's
so
not.
So now you have
Now
to go.
it's not.
Now you have to go.
Yeah,
booyah.
thank God. I hate that music. All right, let's do it.
Really, you do? I love this music.
Oh my
All right,
God,
here we
it's
go.
the worst.
Here's a quiz for Matt and Emma. Of course, winner takes all.
Woo!
In March, what did Tesla CEO Elon Musk swear not to do? Mike, again, this is a CEO of a public traded company, so these things should matter. He swore not to do something. What did he swear?
I
not
want
to
to
do?
answer first.
Go, sure.
Go ahead.
He promised not to sell Tesla's crypto holdings.
Okay,
Oh,
Matt.
really? I did not. If that's the answer, I did not know that. I was going to say he swore not to have any more children.
Come on, you know that's not true. Emma
I
gets
don't
a
know.
very big. Oh, sorry, listener who has ear problems. Yeah, that's right. He swore not to sell. I mean, really, it was mostly about Bitcoin because Tesla at that point had a stake of over $1 billion. But he swore. You're right, Emma. He swore. And again, this is important because this was Tesla's stake he was talking about, and he swore
Yep.
not to sell it. So this should be pertinent information for if you're a shareholder at Tesla when your CEO tells you this. But anyway, let's move on. What did Elon Musk do in the next few months after that declaration?
Oh, I can do it.
Can we guess?
Yeah, go ahead. That's the whole point of this.
He sold
Yes.
it. He sold like 75% of it.
Once
I'm going
again,
to say what Emma said.
Emma's right, everyone. He sold the Bitcoin. He sold 75%. Emma, you're right on today. He sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, 75% of his holdings. That's a
Emma cheaty lurking today.
pretty big lie.
Emma read the headline this morning lurking.
And let's finish with this one. True or false? Staying with Tesla, the company's annual meeting is in 2 weeks, and there are 8 shareholder proposals up for a vote. True or false? Tesla is actually recommending that shareholders vote for at least one of these proposals.
Damn.
It feels like
True
a
or
leading
false?
question to me.
They're all leading questions. It's always a
Because-
psychological game.
I mean, Damien would not put this question in if it wasn't true, because that
Actually,
would
I
be
might.
interesting to him.
I might, because the reason I put it in is there's something else I wanted to reveal in the answer.
And I'm about.
I
I
might.
think I know the other thing that you want.
No,
to
you
reveal,
don't.
'cause
I
have
wanna
the
hear if
answer
Emma
to a
knows.
different question.
Okay, Matt, you go
I
first.
actually-
True or false?
I'm gonna say false.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Emma's going first.
Yeah,
I'm
Emma.
gonna
False?
say false because the real tea going on at Tesla is that people are recommending voting against 2 of their board members right now.
Yeah,
Okay, Matt?
The answer actually is false because I think I read the proxy when it popped.
He just Googled when he.
Cheater
Google with my. I'm not even touching my keyboard. So
You have a Neuralink chip, Matt. We know what's going on.
Yeah,
no,
you're
I
both
did not
right.
get a Neuralink chip. I got their competitor chip, which actually works in someone's brain.
Totally.
You're both right. I was kind of playing a trick on you. It is definitely a false, and this is how much of a false it is. First of all, just to tell you what's going on, shareholders are asking for a vote on proxy access, a collective bargaining policy, and they want reporting on anti-harassment and discrimination efforts, board diversity, employee arbitration lobbying, child labor, and water risk. Okay, but here's why I included this, because Tesla did 3 very strange moves I don't think I've ever seen before. One is that the proxy statement opens with this list. It opens right
really?
up. The
Huh.
first thing you see is basically like all the stuff they're against. So I don't think I've seen that before.
That's
Second,
really aggressive.
its
That's unheard of.
CEO Elon Musk actually tweeted. He actually tweeted this. Please vote your shares with Tesla, which got me to wondering, what does that mean exactly? That's a very
Is that
narrow
allowed?
definition of a corporation, right? He's saying that Tesla is its board management. That's his definition of Tesla, because clearly a lot of the stakeholders and shareholders don't believe that you should be voting in this way. As you said, Emma, ISS already recommending votes against board management here. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
Which board
Yeah.
members are they recommending against?
It's a classified board. Only 2 board members are up for a vote this year, and ISS is recommending against all of them. And I would assume they would have recommended against the whole slate. So it just happened to be 2.
Which 2 is it though? Is it? Do we
Emma
know?
can Google that while I
can
filibuster.
Google that.
And this is the third thing that was odd to me, is that not only did Elon Musk tweet this, but Tesla actually filed an amendment to its proxy with the SEC.
I
just-
saw that.
Just to have a screenshot of the tweet. It's just like this
Because
is
they
a
have
juvenile
to.
world. It's a Wait,
They
but they didn't do that when he promised not to sell $1 billion worth of.
No. But that is.
Oh,
this
because
is
it's about the
related-
meeting.
It's because it's directly related to a shareholder meeting,
Right.
and that is a recommendation for how to vote, right? Like
Right,
vote
okay.
with Tesla. So they
Yes.
have to file it with
Well, okay, again.
the proxy. It was actually a filing as a Def A14A, which is an amendment to the proxy.
And I quibble with your definition. The definition of Tesla is not just its board management. I'm just telling everyone out there. Emma,
Well,
yeah, you have
you
any
can
answers?
quibble, but that's
I can
the
quibble.
Filing
Emma,
issue.
do you know which directors are being voted against?
Yes, it is Ira Arempris and
Ooh.
Kathleen Wilson Thompson.
Aw.
Right. Oh.
Okay,
All right,
so
moving on.
Ira Arenpris was an early investor in Tesla. He's a VC guy. And
Of
it
course.
makes sense to take a long tenured early director and get rid of them. However, because they're classified, and this is one of the secrets of the alternative democracy, you
Yeah.
can't get rid of Kimball Musk this year, which makes no sense that he's on that board in the first place. Yeah, Kimball's here. Another year, at least. Enjoy it.
Back to the game.
Back to the
I like
don't
that
think I'm-
diversion. That was
I
a
don't
good
think I'm going to
diversion.
enjoy it. Delta had the worst the worst cancellation rate among U.S. airlines in May. Emma, you reported a lot about Delta. Its normal
Yep.
cancellation rate is 0.7%. Anyone want to guess what their cancellation rate was in May?
I know the answer.
What? How do you know this answer? Wow.
Say it.
I
wanna hear
saw
this.
It.
wanna
I
hear
saw
this.
it because
Go ahead. Just
like
say
it
what's the
seems
answer?
shockingly low. Okay, the answer
Yeah.
is 2.7%,
Oh
and
my
it
God.
seems shockingly low. It was in a headline somewhere, and but that is like a ridiculous cancellation rate. That's
When
an
you do the
absurdly
numbers-
high cancellation rate.
When you apply, and I know, I realize I'm a math genius, and most of our listeners
It's
are
true.
not.
He is.
But when you actually do the whole numbers, it is. You're right, Matt. 3% is a pretty big number.
Well,
It's
like 3 cancellations for every 100
Hundreds.
people.
Yeah,
You know,
every 100
that's not great.
flights. Every 100
every 100
flights.
flights.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
when you think about the fact that Delta flies like 30 times from like
A second.
Boston to Baltimore, right?
Yeah. Why
You're-
would you
you're
go to
ta-
Baltimore?
You're actually talking about a lot of flight cancellations.
Next question.
Our very own Ari canceled. She's on a different flight today.
Next question.
Tough.
And this is not about Ari. This is about the cancellation rate. Do you care?
Not even one iota.
Emma?
I will start to care on September 1st when when I adjudicate how things are
When it's
seeming
about
before
you?
I have to get on a plane. Yeah, no, it's
Okay, I'm going to
100%.
say,
Absolutely.
the audience doesn't like that, Emma.
Oh,
but to Matt, they say they're giving you the positive
the
points.
audience, giving me the points.
Uh,
I also
yeah.
care because Ed Bastian didn't realize this was the outcome of force retiring 2,000 pilots.
Yeah,
And-
and Bastion doesn't understand supply and demand, which is great.
And,
for
All
and
right,
didn't realize that this was coming.
let's continue then, because you guys are feeling the love of this one. Which CEO? I could just say that and you know the answer.
Ed Bastian.
Which CEO self-congratulated himself with the corny grandpa statement that, quote, "We did that on our own nickel just to reunite our customers to their bags as quickly as possible when they sent a canceled flight from London to the U.S. with over 1,000 delayed bags. We did that on our own nickel." Which CEO said that? We did that on our own nickel.
I know the answer to this.
Eddie.
Go ahead, Emma.
Yeah, it was Eddie. It was our guy, Eddie.
Eddie, whose nickel were you going to use?
We did that on our own
United's
nickel.
I don't think so.
That's up there with Buffett. That's up there with Buffettisms.
I was gonna say very.
And he's
Buffettian.
proud of that. Like, who else would pay for this? I don't understand who else would pay for this.
I
To send
turned the old
back
cranky
lost
lever to
baggage.
make
It's like,
the planes you go, and we did
fixed
it
our own
ourselves.
problem with our own money. Good job.
And finally, in this category,
Everyone's ignoring my grandpa impression. This is the greatest.
no, we're
grandpa
enjoying it.
impression ever.
We like it
Oh,
as
yeah.
background music.
Yeah.
Finally, in this category, true or false, despite all the sucking at Delta, and there's a lot of sucking going on, combined with high fuel costs, operational challenges, an economic slowdown, pilot union pushback, etc., despite all that, true or false, Delta has reported profitability.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. They didn't do buybacks.
Yeah, so that's you see, Emma. This is how easy it is to run a company. I don't know what's wrong with us, but this is how easy it is. You can suck in every different direction. You're still profitable.
Government
I'm sure
subsidies help.
I'm sure a lot of his bonuses are tagged to like things like EPS and other profitability measures. So there you go. He's going to continue to make
That is a really
tens of
good
millions
question,
of dollars.
Eddie's probably going to get paid out, despite the fact that they canceled all your flights.
Yeah,
Nice.
despite massive sucking. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Here's some good fun ESG stuff. ESG data. True or false? What?
He's excited about
category.
that.
True or false? We might be seeing some actual racial ethnic diversity progress on U.S. boards.
Could you more vaguely write this question? We might be seeing some.
We
It could be
are
either
seeing
true
or false. We are seeing some actual. I wrote it like that because how do you actually define progress in this area? We are actually seeing progress, racial ethnic diversity progress on U.S. boards. Anyone? True or
I
false?
think the answer is yes, but it's not impressive.
I'm going with false. I think we're seeing gender progress, but no racial progress.
The buzzer goes to Chidi Mascardi. Emma, you're right. Look. You can quibble.
Gosh,
Let's
Chidi, how
stick
are
with
you
quibbling. But here are the numbers. This is a report from I don't remember. I don't care.
Good answer.
I believe it was the Harvard School of Corporate Governance.
Well, here I'll give you the.
Chidi Lurking knows the answer.
Yeah, that's actually true. I'll give you the numbers by form of a continuing quiz. In 2020, 29% of all Russell 3000 companies had two or more racially or ethnically diverse directors on their boards. What's that number in 2022, just 2 years later? That was 29% of all Russell 3000 boards, two or more. What's that number now, 2 years later?
Well, if we're seeing progress, it has to be higher than that.
Yep.
So I'm going to say 34%.
Emma? That's what you
I
would
was
think, right, Matt? Emma?
I was gonna go for like 31.
Yeah, I see you're both boo birds.
Oh.
So
damn.
that number is actually up to 55%.
Really?
And similarly on S&P 500 boards, in 2020, 7% of S&P 500 boards had 4 racially or ethnically diverse directors. That number is up to 31% just 2 years later. That sounds like actual progress.
It does not say this is 2 or more humans on the board, right? It does not say that how many of those boards have 43 people on them.
Okay, but we know from our research that S&P 500 boards, they generally don't have 40,000 board members.
I just
Don't.
I know what the average is. I know it's like 8.5 directors. So
Okay,
it's,
but
it's not bad. But I'm just saying there could be a board on there that's like included in the 55% that has 62 people on it.
No, this is okay, but still, that's an impressive leap.
Don't
in 2
ruin my
years.
stats.
7. Okay, finally. What? Here's another question, another quiz question. What is this increase in racial and ethnic diversity progress being called? What are they calling this in the nerdy corporate governance circles?
The
Anyone?
brown wave.
Oh,
Emma?
Jesus.
Come on, Emma.
I'm just saying.
It could be.
I
could
don't
be.
know. I don't know the answer to this, so my guess.
Oh, she hasn't guessed yet. Sorry.
They're gonna boo whatever you say. You know
My
it's coming.
guess, this increase in racial and it's gonna be something that I hate, and I don't want to say it. I
Say
don't
something
say
inflammatory.
something horrible. I'm gonna go
Say
with
the
the
N-word.
wokeification.
Wokeification. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm going
The
with.
George Floyd effect.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. Honestly,
This gives me a little bit of hope. I mean, really, honestly, like you can have direct action based on.
not
A
me.
social
That's
justice.
an apology tour right there.
Yeah, that's correct. Let's dial back
You
hope.
you can
and-
say that, but these are actual living human beings on boards.
No, you're not
It
wrong.
just goes to prove. It just goes to prove.
What does it
all
prove? What
you
does it prove?
need is a massive social movement.
Hey, this is how it works.
On a systemic bias.
This is how it works.
For 6 investors to pay attention for 1 year and change their proxy votes.
This is all right. Moving on. GM General Motors wants to test a self-driving car that does not have these 3 things.
3
What
things.
what do
These
what
3
what do those cars not have? What are the 3 things they're trying to? They're yeah. You know.
I think I actually know.
Go
I
ahead.
know that doesn't have mirrors, like rear view mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think doors potentially.
Doors. What
Like
world
not-
are you
maybe not
living in,
doors,
girl?
But it's like something. It's something really fundamental to
It's
the
no
car.
longer a car if there are no doors.
You
What
can't
is
get
it?
in it.
It's a metal box.
I think
It's a storage
maybe-
container.
Yeah, it's definitely rear view mirrors, and now I'm flustered and can't remember the name.
Matt?
Rear view mirrors, steering wheels, and I think the last one was like something about the console, like ignition-y console.
I'll give
thing.
you guys. I'll give it to you. I'll give you partial
Thank you.
credit at least. The answer is, and Emma, thanks for getting the ball rolling. First of all, you're right. Mirrors is one of them, and yes, whoever said steering wheel, that's true too.
Yeah.
The third thing is pedals.
Pedals.
So really, the passengers are not going to be able to operate this vehicle at all. Like it, right?
So
Doesn't it sound like even in an emergency, it's going to turn into
it might
a
as well not have doors. It's
storage
already a death
container,
trap.
right?
I think
Yeah.
in an emergency it stops
And that's it.
and you
And
get
you
out.
trust that?
That's
No,
terrible.
Thank you.
So I am no longer taking my weekly voyage from Los Angeles to Palm Springs.
Look, it's-
'cause I don't want to be stuck in the desert.
The interesting thing will be if GM gets this through, right? Because they're asking for it. That Google could not get this through, Tesla could not get this through. Like,
Come on, Mary
Uber
Barra.
asking about it, which means maybe the tech bros are right that the system's stacked against you, because if GM can do it, that's like an American icon.
Look,
Maybe
all I
right.
know
Yeah.
is that for anyone who's ever seen the show Upload, a key plot point is murder by way of self-driving vehicle. So
Right.
I'm not into it. It's not happening for me.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Ford Motor Company is preparing to cut as many as 8,000 jobs in the coming weeks as the automaker tries to fund its push into what? This is kind of like a woke, anti-woke war here. What is it blaming? What for cutting 8,000 jobs? And I think these are 8,000 salary jobs, and I think I read that there are
Yes.
only 31. Is it possible there's only 31,000 salary jobs in the U.S.?
Salary jobs.
This
These
is
are the-
significant.
This is
This is
like the
significant
fat
amount.
middle management that they're
This is a
cutting.
lot. So what are they blaming?
Electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Emma,
Yeah. EVs.
Agree? look at that. Very good. Our esteemed experts. Yeah, they're blaming essentially woke people for cutting all those jobs. So there'll be some more angry executives moving to Miami right there. That's
Look,
all I'm going to say.
Contextualize this because it's not like the unionized like workers on the floor that they're cutting. In fact, back at the mothership, I worked with one of the analysts there on a report that suggested it was his report, and he actually informed me of this. It's true. It happened. That when you move to electric vehicles, there are fewer parts in the car than there are in gas-operated vehicles, which means you need fewer workers to construct them and fewer workers to oversee it. This is an inevitable cost of a move to electric vehicles, no matter what. And still, they're going to make more money and like they'll end up hiring more overall.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Okay.
just telling you the reality.
I'm just moving on in the quiz. Ford CEO Jim Farley said cutting staff is a key
That
to
Jim
boosting
Farley.
is a key. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, Matt, because for some reason today of all days, my Google Doc would not point out my spelling errors. Why does it do that?
I don't know. Jim Farley though is in there.
Ford CEO Jim Farley said cutting staff is a key to boosting what?
Funds for EVs.
Emma?
Didn't we
Yeah.
just say that?
This one's
That
really
sounds
for Emma,
about-
this question.
Emma doesn't know why this question
no.
was for her.
This was meant to trigger Emma, this question. No, he's really just saying what Emma doesn't want to hear is that their cutting staff is key to boosting profits.
Oh.
Awkward.
That's capitalism,
You know what? You
baby.
can't have a company without
Awkward.
profits. As free
Okay.
float is
Well,
soon
I was gonna
going
say,
to,
like, you work at one.
prove. Well, we're
right.
literally going to prove that.
Moving on quickly, which company is suing Meta? Emma.
Emma's hand shot up.
Meta.
Matt?
Meta is suing Meta?
Matt, you
Well,
agree?
actually, and
No, shh,
Amazon.
Shh. No, I don't want to list. I like your first answer, Matt. Oh, forget it.
I'm
For,
gonna-
for
I'm gonna
comedic
say,
value, yeah.
WhatsApp is suing Meta.
For Emma, I say, yes, I just like this. Meta is suing Meta.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
did
it.
see. Oh, but it's not. Well, that's a good question.
Amazon
'cause
is
it's a trick
also
question.
about to
Okay,
sue
hey,
Meta.
Emma, forget it. There are like probably 50, 80, 90, 200 companies suing Meta, but I just like that Meta is suing Meta. Can you just give me
I'm
this?
glad I
Can
got
you
the
give me
right
this
answer,
moment?
though.
Yeah.
Can you please clarify? Because Meta
Okay, I'm
is not
clarifying.
suing itself.
Meta. Okay, but here's the thing. Meta, as you know, Matt, Emma wouldn't know this. Meta is actually Meta Platforms, and the company suing Meta is called Meta X, but they both have filed to do business as under the term Meta. So, the original Meta X, is suing Meta Platforms because for obviously trademark infringement.
And watch
and
magically.
I know they're And can I
Mark
just say,
Zuckerberg makes
they're
Meta
compla-
X disappear.
they're doing a lot of big boohoo tears, but you know this is the greatest day of their lives that they get
Totally.
to sue Meta for this trademark infringement. They're seeing dollar signs, even though
I
they're
hope it works for
they're
them.
crying
I really
about how tough this has been for them, and you know they love this. Come on.
I
Yeah,
mean,
rooting for 'em.
except that I'm sure the founder of Meta X is like, we've been doing everything. Like, imagine if like Mark Zuckerberg rebranded and called themselves Free Float Platforms.
Oh, I would love it.
and
Please.
we
What are
would
you waiting
sue
for?
them,
Best day
right?
of our lives.
We sue them for it, and then literally we have to rebrand ourselves, and no one knows who we are to begin with.
Oh, wait.
All we hope for,
Yeah.
all that our whole lives building this thing to this point becomes just a payout from a college dropout who just stole what we did.
Two more questions here, and then we'll move on to better things because that's just the way it works in this show. For most reports, the Great Resignation is over. And layoff season has begun. CNBC is reporting that a report from McKinsey says that this percentage of workers are considering quitting their jobs in the next 3 to 6 months. What percentage of workers are considering quitting their jobs in the next 3 to 6 months?
I mean, this is hard because the real percentage is always
Yeah.
100. Right? Like,
Okay.
I've never worked
yeah.
someplace
Yeah.
where somebody wasn't considering quitting their
I
job.
guess that's probably true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like everybody is like, I just can't wait to quit my job. But the actual the laugh track kicked in.
Delayed laugh there. Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
pondering it. They got sad first, and then they kind of chuckled.
And then they got into it. But I'm guessing that the real number is like sub 10%.
Emma,
I think it's 40.
can I just say to Emma? You
Emma
nailed it.
Emma,
Yeah, Cheaty McGee.
Cheaty
You nailed it,
Lurking.
Emma. And I had to include this because
I think it's 40 as I just
From
read
the-
on the Google
yeah.
that
I'm
it's
sorry,
40.
where's my hand?
we can never.
Stepped in
He
where?
knows that we can never see her left hand, and Emma did admit to me a few weeks ago that her left hand is her Googling hand.
She's-
If only I was ambidextrous enough to like.
Here's the
yeah.
thing. I read a little bit of the report from McKinsey. A shit ton of people are already quit, and now 40% more are quitting. So what is going on? I don't even know what's happening. What's happening?
Which report is the Great Resignation is over if just
Well,
under
I-
half of
I
people
put that
are
in
quitting?
there to actually lead the question. I was trying to make you guys stumble a little bit. That was manipulation on my part.
Oh,
I thought
so-
but I thought the Great Resignation was ostensibly over. No, are
They were
people
just
still
talking
quitting
about
in
the great
droves?
CEO resignation.
True. All right, let's wrap this up. And finally, let's talk about unionization here in the state of Maine. We reported
Oh.
about Starbucks and Chipotle. So,
Topic
Emma,
no one
you
cares about.
you talked about this. The first Chipotle in the United States to vote to unionize was here in my home state, in the capital of Augusta. It voted to unionize in June last month. What was the official response of the company?
To close the location the morning of their hearing with the National Labor Relations Board.
Matt?
Ooh,
That
I
sounds
like
very
that answer.
specific information.
Because
yeah,
it's
that's-
so suspicious.
I'm clapping for Emma,
Suspiciously specific.
but for the company, I'll say.
Well,
But yes, that's right. Chipotle, for all you Chipotle nerds out there, all you addicts out there, yes,
Sorry.
Emma's right. They're closing the location, so get over and get addicted to something else. Get addicted to some local taco
Look,
shop.
this is
don't
what
do that
happens-
yet. They
No,
filed
do
a
it.
complaint with. They filed a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board, and hopefully something will come out of that.
Oh,
nothing's going
stop.
to come out of it.
Support
Nothing
This sounds like a
Nothing
woman who
anywhere.
is addicted to Chipotle and you can't quit it, just like your right-wing weather app that you can't
I
quit.
wish I'm gonna send you my credit card statement one day,
Yeah,
so
please
you can
do.
really see the
Please
amount
do.
of
It's
fast
It's going to be
food I
Taco
consume,
Bell,
so we
Taco
can-
Bell, Chipotle,
Please
Taco
do. I
Bell,
wanna
Taco
see it.
Bell, Taco Bell.
Oh, at least
Um,
Chipotle I actually eat on a more regular basis.
See, there it is. She eats
that's the-
Chipotle on a regular
Not
basis. Union
lot.
busting Chipotle is Emma's second favorite place to eat.
I mean, that's
after
Emma. Even you have to admit
Taco
that's
Bell.
brazen. That's taking it.
Can I
that's like
just say,
beyond Howard Schultz?
Augusta, Maine,
Yeah.
18,000 people live there. So, like,
But what does that matter?
Two
What does that have to do with
employees?
anything? What does that
two
have to do with
employees at
anything?
Chipotle?
I don't know.
Like-
What does that have to do with anything? I really
I'm
want to
just
know.
saying, like,
I'm
them closing
desperate
the
to know.
store,
Emma.
they
Yeah.
can justify by the fact that there's 12 people who live there and
Hey,
four
hey,
of them eat.
I don't
Hey.
know what he's doing. Yeah, Emma, why don't you bail us out of Matt's old man wisdom and
Yeah,
give
I
us a
mean,
trend
get off
quiz?
my
Augusta lawn.
After
Trend quiz.
crushing Damien's
Come on.
quiz, it only makes sense that I be the quizmaster now.
Yeah.
So,
all of the answers.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Emma. By the way, Emma gets the win today.
yeah, no shit. Okay. So, welcome to the trend quiz. My trendy
you, thank
dumpster
you.
dive, but in quiz form. I have 2 trends and a couple of questions each. Are you ready? Yes,
yes.
you are ready.
I don't
Okay,
care,
cool.
and I'm ready.
Okay, here's your first trend. Ivana Trump's funeral. Here's your first
Ivana,
question.
wait.
I now care.
Oh, not Ivanka. Wait,
No,
No, Ivana Trump.
Ivana.
I should have brain
Yes.
freeze. The daughter is Ivanka.
Yeah.
The
there you go.
daughter is
Okay,
Ivanka, the
all right.
mother is Ivana.
Well,
Are we
welcome
good?
to 2022. Got it.
Good job. All right. 1. Which of these quotes were not said at the funeral?
Ooh.
She room and showed me what Eastern European discipline is really all about.
Ooh.
She's standing there in chocolate brown Gucci and she said, "I like you. You're cute. You're chubby, but we can fix that." She taught us how to spear fish and then cook what we caught. And
Eastern European. Yeah.
she would chide me, my mini skirts weren't mini enough.
I mean, definitely spearfishing. Right?
What, that
was
didn't
not
happen?
Said there.
No, I don't know.
That was not said.
I'm okay. Maybe I'm misled by her Eastern European roots. I would think that she did grow up doing things like that. I would think.
But consider the context of the rest of the questions. I mean, you can
I
pick
know,
one
but
of the other
isn't
ones, but
Emma
it's gonna
trying to
be
fool
random.
us? Isn't she trying
Sure.
to fool us a little bit? That seems too obvious.
Sure. I mean,
I'm
but
gonna
I'm going to
go-
fall for the joke because the other three are so plausible that she said them that I'm going to pick the one that's least plausible.
I'm gonna go with bathroom discipline. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that was the point. I chose a sound effect with no meaning because this was all a trick. All of them were said. None of them are fake.
Okay.
Okay. Got us.
I hate that old trick.
All right,
I
2.
hate that old trick.
But
It's one of your favorites. I
at least
believe.
we're both. But then
I
again,
know.
Emma, we're both right too. While we're wrong, because I did
It's
say
true.
that the spearfish happened, and Matt did say the bathroom happened. So you're wrong.
And you know what?
Emma.
For that, there
Thank
you
you.
go.
Good. Oh, there we go. Points awarded to someone.
2,
somewhere.
under the Ivana Trump funeral trend. How
Yeah.
did the New York Times refer to Melania both times she was mentioned in their funeral coverage piece? 1,
Okay.
Trump and his current wife, Melania. 2,
Okay.
Trump and his most recent wife, Melania.
Oh.
Trump and his third wife, Melania. Or
Yeah.
Trump and his final wife, Melania.
Wow. This is
Look.
this is interesting.
This
This
is
is
the
true.
best
This is true.
question we've ever asked on a show.
Yeah, I like this one. Well, third would be boring.
No,
That's
but
just true.
this is a fundamental question about how the New York
But
Times
accurate.
covers things, which is
Yeah.
do they stick to the facts, which is current wife and third wife are in play, or do they layer in a little bit of that sort of snarky but occasional like
isn't current
true,
snarky
not
too? Though, but
true?
isn't current snarky? You would never introduce someone as my current wife.
No,
That's
like
snarky.
well, I guess third and most recent would be then the truest.
That's
Current
that's snarky too.
And
Most recent.
final would be less.
Only third is factual. Only third is.
I'm going to
is
go with
journalistic
third. I'm
integrity.
going to go with third because that is the
You think
most
they have integrity?
factual one. I'm
I'm gonna go.
Look, this is
yeah.
a hopeful play for me.
I'm gonna go with. I like final wife. I like that one. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go most recent wife. Wait, why am I getting beat
Oh.
for that?
I think that was the
Thank
wrong
you.
sound effect.
Yep.
There's just a
Correct. Neither of you are correct. The answer is Trump and his current wife, Melania, which
Right.
Damien, I 100% agree is
Snarky.
because
Yeah.
that's implying that she won't always be his current wife. There could be an ending to the currency of her as his wife. But thank you for your participation in that question. It was exactly what I
I like
wanted,
that one.
actually.
Well, I'm gonna
Um,
say this. I'm gonna guess this. That if that big old gas bag stays alive, which it looks like unfortunately he will for the next 20 years, he will have another wife eventually. I'll guess that.
Yeah.
no.
You're
Melania is now stuck forever.
All right. Your second
yeah.
trend, moving on to
Yes. That was all
Amazon
one
buys-
trend. Oh, Trump. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was
Sorry.
one trend. The second trend, it buys One Medical for $3.9 billion. I would like to mention that is in cash.
Oh.
Not super important, but a detail
Yeah.
I like.
I mean, it's nothing.
First question.
yeah.
Amazon's senior vice president of Amazon Health Services was quoted saying, "We
Yeah.
think healthcare is high on the list of experiences that need reinvention." What are Vice President of Amazon Health Services Neil Lindsay's credentials in the healthcare
Uh-oh.
industry?
I see what you're
He-
doing here.
The former medical officer for Teladoc, a senior advisor for the Carlyle Group, chief
Oh, no.
marketing officer for Sprint, or the
Oh.
executive vice president of global business services and transformation for Pfizer.
Oh my God! I have one that immediately stood out to me.
Yeah.
Well, one
Chief
is
marketing
supposed
officer
to.
for
Yeah,
Sprint.
that's supposed
It just
to
seems the most
immediately stand out
terrible.
for you, but it's not correct. It's Carlisle, I believe, is the correct answer.
Who's
And-
right?
And can I
Wait,
just
so
say
yeah, go for it, Matt.
the quote is list of experiences that need reinvention. That makes it sound like you're going on a
High in the
fucking
list of
ride at-
experiences. What a
where are you
dope.
going? Like Six Flags? Like healthcare's not an experience.
Wait, what's this person's name? Oh, Neil Lindsay. Got it. Neil Lindsay.
My healthcare. No one comes out of the doctor's office and say my healthcare experience was excellent today. No, you're saying like I have a tumor on my foot.
Stop talking. I
sucks.
want to know the answer.
Damien, sorry. So Matt's going for Carlisle. Damien, what are you saying?
Come on. Yeah, I said chief
CMO.
marketing officer at Sprint.
This ding is going to be for
Matt.
Damien. That is
Oh!
correct. It is marketing officer at Sprint. Matt, I almost never trick Matt. This might be the proudest moment of my life. Oh my God. I feel so good
Can we
about
just say,
that.
can you tell me his experience again? What is his experience?
His marketing. This man's experience is exclusively in marketing. He worked for
Crowd loves
Amazon
that.
11 years. Actually, he was working for Sprint only up to like the early aughts. And
That explains the word experience.
And can I just tell you?
Exactly.
Not only is it horrible because he was just in marketing for a stupid phone company, but Sprint. Nobody cares about Sprint
Yeah,
since
the
like
worst phone company.
2007.
Literally the worst phone company.
Yeah, it sucks so many things.
Next and second to last question. What does the company
It's a weird
Amazon
way of
bought
saying
One
it.
Medical actually do?
I
One,
don't
do
really
they
want to know the
operate
second to last question.
premium membership-based primary care clinics?
Okay.
Do they operate telepsychiatry with a focus on ADHD and anxiety medication prescriptions and
I
evaluations?
think I need that. Yeah.
A communication system for doctors and their patients to give out prescriptions, make referrals, access medical paperwork,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. Or curating an elevated post-op experience for surgical patients.
Well,
Which is it, folks?
Didn't we talk about this yesterday? Using the word "one" in a corporate experience.
Yeah,
weren't we just talking about this?
We were
One.
talking about that recently.
One medical. So maybe it's something holistic. Any of this stuff holistic?
Primary care is, and it's elevated post-op experience is definitely not what it is, right?
But you've been screwing up Emma all day, so you better think about your logic on this one.
Telepsychiatry is too specific. They're not going to get into that first. Communication system is
Emma's
possible.
just telling me that I need that. Yeah,
communication is possible.
I think
but
that's
is
it.
subject to a
Communications.
tremendous amount of regulation. There's no way they're buying into regulation. It's 100%
Growth at all costs.
membership-based primary care clinics.
I say communication system.
For Matt,
I hate when she
he is
does that.
correct. It is
I
membership
hate when she does
based.
that.
What? What?
One of us was right, and it gets
Yeah.
a ding, and we don't know who.
I said it immediately after having.
So which is it? They
1
operate
second of
primary care clinics.
Primary
That makes
care,
sense.
yeah.
In fact, I think there's one by me. I should have known that. Okay,
Amazon Primary Care.
but that
There
makes
you
sense
go.
to me. I mean, that makes sense.
Do that.
It's a little
Here's the
scary
question:
to me.
when
Yeah,
they,
and
when
frankly, yeah.
the chief marketing officer of Sprint decides what to rename One Medical as part of this transition,
Why not just
do
Sprint?
they go with Amazon Prime dash Airy Care, or do they do Amazon Primary Care, and that's
Why
part of
not
the membership?
Why not Sprint Splint?
Moving
Because
on.
it's not. He doesn't work
Finally.
for Sprint anymore.
Third and final question. One Medical got in trouble big enough to be investigated by Congress in 2020. What did they
Uh-oh.
do? Did they
Here we go.
sell user data without consent, administer COVID vaccines to ineligible patients for financial gain? They
Interesting.
deleted internal communications regarding opiate prescription policies, or discriminatory practices in membership acceptances to One Medical's clinics.
Oh God! I mean, this smells like all of the above.
I know this is
Doesn't it?
definitely all of like it does feel exactly like that, especially because none of the above are things that Amazon would care about before purchasing
you're
One Medical.
so right. You're so right.
I'm going to go with all of the above also.
And this goes with our narrative, of this growth at all costs, at any speed. Fuck the regulations, and so I'll go all of the above. See if Emma's trying to trick us. Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
It was administering COVID vaccines to ineligible patients for financial gain.
What does that mean? Oh, so people jumping the line
Jumping the line, but
and they
expressly.
charge them?
And it's not even that. It's trying to get
Yeah.
them to sign up to become members through giving them vaccines.
Oh, great.
What that
Get your
actually-
vaccine
I'm
with
okay
a
with that.
membership.
I'm okay. That
to
sounds
give
very
them to ineligible
Amazon-y.
patients?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
No, I
you're
think
that for
this is-
Amazon.
you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
But I
years
think this
old.
is perfect
that.
for Amazon. I think that's a
Yeah.
perfect. Like I could see why they'd be attracted to that type of corporate behavior.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
And
They
that's all I
can't.
got.
We. You know what we should have
Beautiful,
known? They
Emma.
can't sell user data without consent. There's actually HIPAA laws that prevent that. So
Totally.
that's unfortunate.
Can I just say that? Yeah, go ahead, Matt. Take us out of here with a little bit of edutainment, if you will.
I'm gonna. We do none of that. The tainment part. or the edu part. So
Boogie Down
but
Productions.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to outro us with a really quick data dump, which is to say, we ran on our Board Sabermetrics a global power ranking of board members. And after doing a global power ranking of how influential a board member is, what I looked at is boards where less than 50% of the board is female, but more than 50% of the influence is female.
I like
As
it.
in, women don't control the board with numbers; they control it with influence.
With their influence. I like it.
Here are some interesting companies that popped in that. And
We'll
if
be
you
the
wanna
judge
know
if it's
how we
interesting
got
or
there,
not. Go
call
ahead.
us. Hershey, the Hershey Company. Get your
It's a family
chocolate.
firm,
Hershey,
right?
Sure, family firm, but get your chocolate and
Yeah.
know that women are probably the most influential people making decisions.
better
about that
be.
chocolate.
They better be.
I like women
Figs,
controlling chocolate.
Figs.
Inc. They make. You know what they
Oh,
make?
the
They
Scrubs?
make scrubs. The Scrubs.
Emma, look
company.
at
They
you.
make
You have
scrubs,
friends
yeah.
who aren't just the morons like
I
me.
reported on them like 2 years ago.
Oh, well,
Figs, okay.
report on them again because good for them for having some powerful women in their boardroom. American Electric Power.
Okay. Oh, you know what?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Utilities.
I remember
Utilities.
this, but I
Totally.
remember this from my work, my incredible work at MSCI. The utilities in general have a high incidence of women on boards for some reason, right?
We've talked about
Am
this
I wrong
before.
about that?
No,
They-
we
For
talked
some
about this
reason, they like women.
They do, and women are in that boardroom in
And have
particular
influence.
are highly influential.
I
They're
like
not
it.
just token. And here's the one that stood out to me the most that requires a deeper dive at someday.
Yeah.
The Walt Disney Company.
before.
As it
Wild.
should be. A family-forward company should have women in charge of everything.
And just in case you need a refresher on who some of those family-friendly board members are,
Yeah, go ahead.
Mary Barra, CEO of GM. Safra Katz, current CEO of Oracle. Maria Lagostino is I think her name. Wow, she's getting a lot of applause. Why is she so? I didn't realize that she was that important. Amy Chang, and finally, or Lago Messina, that's her name. Finally, chair of the board, which Disney, you still wrote chairman of the board under
Oh.
her
Yeah, that
name.
sucks.
I am not kidding.
Why did you tell that to Damien?
I hate that.
Susan Arnold is the chair of the board at Disney, and she's overseeing Grumpy Bald Bob. And it's probably part of the reason why he's grumpy. And that's all I got. That is Damian Rollis
Yeah.
and Emma.
I gotta
looking-
say,
I am
before
Emma
you get us
Scarlett.
out of here, that's the first bit of board sabermetrics data that I really like that one. I think we got something here. Think of all the
it's-
reports you could run just on that alone, where women, because
So
it's
many
not
white
just
papers.
we have finally. Can I just say we have broken through here? We have broken through it because it's not just about whole numbers anymore of women on the board. We've broken through to demonstrate the actual influence that these subsets have on the boards of these corporations. Come on, nerds. Come on, data people.
Emma's
you gotta
losing
get
her
into
mind
this.
at the idea of how many white papers we can produce with something
don't know
just
why
like
that
that.
Oh,
came out of
us,
my
not
mouth.
us, not us.
Emma's like, so many white papers. Emma's never written a white paper before in her life.
Absolutely
But
not.
Damien has, and he's absolutely right. The power dynamic. One of the things that I'm looking at is democracy, a democracy rating of every single board, which is to say, what is the gap between the most influential and the least influential? And if it's really small, that's a more democratic board. This is new and fantastic, and we're done with this 45-minute show. Goodbye.